This is Janis from JBMTHINKS, and today I want to talk to you about what happens when your child is on a team and there's coaching discrepancies and issues and upheavals, more maybe is a better word to say. It's going to happen at some point on some team that your child is on, and you're going to have to figure out how to deal with it. And so, maybe you've already run into some of these situations. The coaches disagree. One of the coaches quits. The parents try to get a coach fired. When there's coaching upheavals, it affects the kids. And so I just want to talk to you for a few minutes about how you can make this an easier issue for your child if it is to happen. The first thing I would suggest is, as a parent, you need to focus on supporting the whole team. I saw a great example of this a couple years ago when one of the girls on a softball team, her parents, there was a coaching upheaval, and her parents were actually coaching, and they got fired because they weren't getting along with the coach, and so it was just a mess. The girl kept playing, but those parents were at every game keeping stats, encouraging the girls. I sat next to them during the game, and I was amazed that they were willing to put the upheaval to the side and focus on supporting the team. So I would say that would be the first thing, is that if this happens to your child and there's coaching problems and coaching upheavals, whether or not you as parents are involved or not, just focus on supporting the team. The girls don't need to get drugged into this mess. And you need to focus on just being there, supporting the team, doing what you can to help the team, because after all, you're in it for the girls or the kids. You're in it for the kids, and so you want to be able to be there for them and to focus on supporting them. The next thing I would say is to, if you must, and sometimes this is absolutely necessary, to find the proper way to go to the authorities and express your concerns. There's always a proper channel for going to the higher authorities. And so I would suggest that you do that. You, instead of belly aching and whining to everybody else about it, take the proper channel and go talk to the head of the league or the athletic administrator or the athletic director or whoever it is that needs to be told and talked to about this, and go talk to them instead of talking to everybody else about it. Because honestly, talking to everybody else about it isn't going to solve an issue or help with an issue. But if you feel that there's something that needs to be done and that you can do it, then go talk to the proper authorities. The next thing I would do is goes along with that, and that is, don't add to the drama yourself. And I think one way that parents do this is they form these sympathy groups, and they stand around in little groups, and they talk about the problem, and they text about the problem, and they call each other and discuss what are we going to do about this, and they form all these little sympathy groups that don't solve anything. They don't solve anything. They just make things worse. It just adds to the mess and makes it worse. And so if this happens to your team or your child's team, don't add to the sympathy groups. Don't add to the drama. There's enough drama without you adding to it. Next, I would say always keep the end goal in mind. Through all the mess up and the drama of coaching upheavals, remember that the most important thing for your child to learn through this experience is what the character that they need to learn. And you need to ask yourself, what is the end game here? What's more important? This immediate season, or what my child becomes in the process of all this. Your child can learn through this upheaval just as much as you can. So look for the opportunities to keep the end game and the big picture in mind. I talk a lot about the big picture in my blog and in my podcasts and in my everything that I say, because I think it's so important for parents to grab onto the big picture and not let it go. Coaching drama, honestly, is another opportunity for your kids to learn important lessons and learning how to deal with things that are uncomfortable. They're going to have many things ahead of them in the future that are not comfortable. Job situations, school situations, family situations. And so when you show them how to deal with this drama and how to handle it in a calm, respectful, way, then it's another opportunity for them to learn a huge lesson. So hopefully you're not having any coaching issues this season. I hated the seasons when we went through that. I really, really hated those seasons when there was coaching upheavals, and especially when my husband was coaching and it involved him, because it just takes away from the fun of the game, and it takes away from what our focus needs to be on, and that is giving these kids a positive, good experience in youth sports. So if you're going through that, I really hope that you can handle it properly and handle it correctly in the best way for you and for your child and for your child's team. Hope you have a great week. We'll talk to you next week.